Hello, and welcome to Running the Table, the podcast where we run through everything on the table in the world of sports. And an AFC and NFC champion has been crowned. The Super Bowl matchup is set. But before we predict it, we're going to recap both the AFC and NFC championship games, starting with the NFC championship. So, Tim, are you ready to go?
Let's run it, Jaboni.
That's the other. Okay, let's run it anyway. The Philadelphia
Too bad.
Eagles The Philadelphia Eagles took on the San Francisco 49ers on their home turf and quite literally unplugged the Brock pot in the most symbolic and literal way possible.
They unplugged it and smashed it on the floor. What do you mean? They broke him.
31-7 victory with, of course, Brock Purdy leaving the game super early with an elbow injury. It turned out to be a torn UCL. He had to come back in because his backup, Josh Johnson, got knocked out of the game with a concussion. And it was pretty much a wrap from there. Philly dominated from start to finish, and they made it look really easy.
Once again, it was as quick as Brock went down. It was bad news for them straight off the gate. In terms of the touchdown, I mean, Christian McCaffrey did his best to carry the load. But once again, once you start preparing for that one-dimensional offense, there's not much you can do. And in the NFL, most of the time you need to be able to pass the ball to be able to beat especially good defenses. So I can't say I've ever seen a quarterback have 100% completion percentage and have a QBR under 5, but Brock Purdy managed to do it, going 4 for 4 for 23 yards, one fumble for a 3.7 QBR.
Yeah,
but it's tough
that's
to
on a
see.
scale from 0 to 100, and Brock Purdy got a 3.
Yeah,
So that just shows you how well the game went. Honestly, I think they would have been better off with Christian McCaffrey playing quarterback, because Christian McCaffrey had an elbow that was still intact.
Yeah, it's just tough to see for 49ers because, I mean, they had one hell of a road to get there. They were playing some really good football there down the stretch. But one thing with 49er quarterbacks is they are never, ever safe. Having all three of those quarterbacks go down at one point this year, they've got a lot of talent, and I think they'll be back. But it was tough for them to see.
Oh, and they certainly will. But one of the bigger factors in this game was both sides of the ball. The 49ers were just undisciplined. Stupid penalties all throughout, whether it be like delay of games or illegal contacts or illegal formation or Trent Williams deciding to fight the entire Philadelphia Eagles.
You start to see frustration boil over in the Trent Williams instance there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen like a fight in that magnitude of a game in a championship game.
I also don't know if I've never seen Trent Williams get that
just like loses cool
animated
like
or essentially stupid of a penalty, because usually he's a veteran guy. He's been around a lot. And you saw a lot of emotions in that game, especially as things went south very quickly.
Yeah, he said, "I had enough of you."
He's like, "I would like to remove you from the premises, and I will."
He removed himself and Kayvon Wallace from the game, but just dumb, stupid penalties the 49ers undoing. And on the other side, who needs a pass game? They established it early, and then it was just running the ball throughout. The Eagles ran it right down the 49ers defense throats. 4 rushing touchdowns total, 2 for Miles Sanders, 1 for Boston Scott, and 1 for Jalen Hurts. Part of the 31 points that they did put up. Their offense looked really, really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, their offense definitely looked very good. Granted, the 49ers did them a lot of favors in terms of, the turnovers and giving them short fields and a lot of opportunities. You look at these running backs, none of them had over 50 yards rushing, but at the same time, I mean, they split it. They split it all really well. They had a very balanced attack, and none of them really needed to go that far.
Well,
so once again, very efficient
part
offense.
Of the game. I think that's part of the game.
Absolutely.
The 49ers shot themselves in the foot, and then you
can't count that against the Eagles,
side.
But yeah.
The Eagles took advantage of the miscues of the 49ers and were able to translate that into points. Now they're going to the Super Bowl. It's really ironic that both of Carson Wentz's backups have taken the Eagles to a Super Bowl appearance. And we'll see if the Mickey Mouse run of the Philadelphia Eagles can result in a Super Bowl victory, which I don't know. I've heard it being called a Mickey Mouse run. I don't think I'd quite agree with that, but
No, I can't say that they've had like, one of the most historically difficult playoff runs, but in the end, all of these teams were playoff teams for a reason. I mean, you look at the Giants and they put up a really good performance in that first week. So do you credit the Eagles playing well for their thrashing of the Giants, or do you discredit the Giants of saying, oh, they really just didn't belong to be there? I mean,
yeah,
you could spin this
exactly.
narrative every which way, and I think it's not worth speculating. It's going to be one hell of a fun Super Bowl to watch regardless.
It absolutely will. With the San Francisco 49ers, I think the question that we need to answer next for them is what is going to become of their quarterback, because Jimmy Garoppolo is a free agent. Trey Lance had multiple surgeries on that ankle, and now Brock Purdy is going to have to get Tommy John on that torn UCL. So what's going to happen there is to be seen, and that is priority number one, because San Francisco definitely has the pieces around whichever quarterback to make a run at the Super Bowl, but until they get that staple quarterback there, I don't think they're going to be able to complete the job.
Yeah, like you said, it's a massive question for them, and I mean, the one thing that is nice for them is they sure have options. They've
Oh
got a
boy,
lot
do
of
they.
options, but once again, I mean, it sucks not having one guy that's standalone, especially healthy. So we'll see what choices they make in this offseason. They'll look to retool and keep whatever pieces that they have there. But they're going to be a fun team to watch next year, regardless.
And then the Philadelphia Eagles take on the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 57, which will be an absolutely fun matchup. The
Battle of
Kelsey
the
Bowl,
Kelseys.
the New Heights Bowl, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a very good game between two of the NFL's best. But that's all we got for our NFC Championship recap. We've been predicting and recapping the entirety of the NFL playoffs. So if you haven't watched those videos, go watch it. Tim, you're going to start your breakdowns on college basketball going around the Big
Keep
Ten,
those rolling.
keeping those rolling, and we're going to be bringing you so much more. But if you want more from us, like and subscribe. And until next time, we out.